everyone, and welcome to Life Happened, the place where people send in their very personal life stories for us to share with you. My name is Stella, your host. Stories are important. They help us navigate our world and connect with others. You'll want to listen to this story until the end, when I read several quotes regarding today's letter. Today's story is from Barry, and the name of the author has been changed to protect his privacy. Dear Stella, I have been married to my wife for 4 years. 2 months after our wedding party, I was sacked from my job while I still had debts from the wedding party that needed to be paid. My wife and I fought a lot during that difficult time, but we were able to overcome the challenge after I got a job with my current boss. Things got bad early, immediately after I lost my job. I tried to reach out to close friends, but almost all my friends had one story or another to tell. I understood it wasn't easy to make money since I was broke and owing some of them money already. Although 3 of my friends sent money to support my family, it all ended after 2 months. Others didn't even bother to respond to my email. After a few months, my calls were not returned by most of my friends. I only got apology messages after 2 weeks with very little or nothing to support my family. My younger brother was supportive during that time. Although he was reluctant to give us enough to help manage our basic needs, he was the major source of income for us. I could understand him since he already had 2 kids and his own bills to pay. I attended numerous interviews, but nothing worked out. I also applied for jobs at different companies, but all my applications were rejected. I was very frustrated, lonely, and fed up at that time. I think that was the lowest point of my life. I felt left out by everyone and didn't have a single friend to sustain me during this tough period. My wife noticed my frustration sometimes. I'd cry out of frustration, and she was the closest person to me then. Although she couldn't provide any money to support our needs, she was still at my side. I submitted my resume to so many companies that I lost count, but I was optimistic that one would get in touch with me soon. With my hope and prayers, I received a call from a company looking for an IT manager. I was almost sure it was one of the numerous companies I had sent my resume to, and I was very happy, so I went for the interview. The interview lasted less than 3 minutes. Not what I expected, but I was strong because I told my wife about the call, and she gave me her word that I would get the job. I didn't expect anything, but I knew the importance of being optimistic, and I believed my wife said that with faith in her heart and mind. On Friday evening, I got a call to resume working on Monday. Since I started, all my problems were over, and we could settle all our debts in time without stress. My boss praised me regularly after successful tasks. I was happy he had confidence in my ability, which motivated me to do more than required. In this new company, I became friends with one of the workers who had been working there for a while. He helped me settle down well within the company. The friendships between my friends and me grew daily. We always hung out, and I became friendlier with the boss. I was surprised to hear that he thought of me as a son. He would occasionally buy my friend and me lunch at the office. Last week, I decided to host a dinner party for my friend and my wife, without notifying either one of them. To my surprise, my friend recognized my wife, so they had a formal greeting. This was very surprising to me, as I didn't know my friend knew my wife. However, I didn't question their interaction. We had our meal, and my friend left peacefully. I didn't question my wife through the night either. I don't know why I acted that way, because I was never in such a situation, I guess. I was curious through the night, but I chose not to ask my wife about it. I knew all her friends, and she never talked about my friend who came to dinner. I wanted to know where they had met, but I preferred to hear it from my friend because my wife never told me about him, and We have been together for years. After getting to work the following day, my friend came to my work desk as usual. I begged him to tell me how he knew my wife. He was reluctant at first, but I begged him for the sake of our friendship and the love we had always shared since I joined the company. He chose to have a meeting with me after work. At the meeting, the three of us, my friend, my boss who is a driver and who lives in our neighborhood, and I were present. They told me that they knew the relationship between my wife and my boss. They told me how my wife approached the driver to get a job and how my boss gave the condition of sex as the ticket for her to get the job, but she chose to give me the offer instead after granting him his conditions. I was shocked to hear what they had said, but when I asked him why he did not tell me earlier, he replied that I may have remained poor indefinitely if this information was revealed earlier. This devastated me because I don't believe that was the only way out for me. I would never betray myself to get any favor, but now that my wife did that for me, it breaks my heart. I despise myself because I had to sign an agreement with my friend before he told me about it. He requested that I never tell my wife that he divulged this information to me. Now, I have to keep this a secret because I made a vow before I was told. I never thought my wife could or would go to that extreme, and it made me sad. I wish I never knew about this because now that I am aware of this, I feel so sad, and I don't think I have in mind and soul to love my wife anymore. I don't know if I should let her go now because she isn't the woman I married. I see a different person when I look at her, and I think the best way to keep my mind at rest is to divorce her now because I am no longer happy seeing or being with her. So, what do you think of Barry's story today? Just scroll down and leave your comment, question, or even the answer to Barry's dilemma. We will reply to your comments with our thoughts and opinions. Today's quotes relating to Barry's story are, "The hunger for love is much more difficult to remove than the hunger for bread," by Mother Teresa, and "You might be poor, your shoes might be broken, but your mind is a palace," by Frank McCourt, and "It was a mistake, you said, but the cruel thing was, it felt like the mistake was mine for trusting you," and that's by David Levithan. Do you have a story to tell? Is there a topic you'd like to hear? Send us an email in the description box below. And please watch other videos from Life Happened, wherein people share their sentiments. They're real-life stories, and they're great to listen to. We thank you for joining us here today, where Life Happened. See you next time, and have a wonderful day.